WYOU Interactive.
Welcome back. Tonight we're talking about the impact that political satire has on the presidential candidates. Joining us is Ralphie Aversa with 97 BHT. Thanks for being with us, Ralphie.
Eric, thank you for having me.
First of all, you got to kick this all off with the New Yorker cover. That was the one last week that gained a lot of attention. Is it offensive?
I mean, it depends on what your definition of satire is. It depends on what you feel the New Yorker was trying to portray as the truth that they're poking fun of. You know, I think you have people on the right who see it as satire of Obama being a Muslim and his wife being a militant, or at least the perception of that, and so they say, oh, that's great satire, no problem. You have people on the far left who say, well, no, they're actually they're poking fun at the perception, the fact that people think that. I mean, the title of the article in the New Yorker was "The Politics of Fear." So people on the left say, no, that's good satire. Then you have people in the middle, and Senator Obama, his camp, Senator McCain, his camp, they took this stance as well, which was basically like, no, you know, regardless of what truth you're trying to make fun of, no matter what the satire is, the bottom line is it's offensive, because, you know, for the first time ever in our country, we have an African-American nominee for a major party, and you have him with a turban giving a fist pump to his wife, who has an AK-47 wrapped around her. So,
well, you mentioned the title is The Politics of Fear.
Right.
That title wasn't at the top of the page, wasn't at the bottom of the page, wasn't in a caption. You had to be familiar with the New Yorker, and you had to go and dig for this title.
You're 100% right, and the New Yorker is at fault. And I mean, they had to realize when they're going to put this out that they're going to be opening themselves up to an enormous amount of criticism, especially with the climate that this election year has brought. I mean, could you ever remember a time where the candidates and their surrogates, their words have been so heavily minced and criticized, and everyone's had to rebut or dismiss or unequivocally dismiss, you know, the comments that they've said at some point or another? It's been a very interesting year.
I would say it's no more than any other political year. Jib Jab's been around for a while. They've been having fun with the politics. I don't think it's any more severe, but I just question whether or not this was something that was truly funny. What's your opinion? I mean, was this funny? And the fact that the New Yorker had to come out and explain it almost tells you, well, it couldn't be that funny. I mean, once you have to explain your joke, you're not funny anymore. Right,
exactly. I mean, me personally, I mean, I didn't really find it that funny. I think it's almost uncharted waters this year. I mean, just the candidates alone have brought this with, of course, the Democratic primary and having, you know, a woman and a black, and now, of course, Senator Obama getting the nomination. I think that itself, it's uncharted territories. This country isn't used to it, and so we're kind of feeling out, well, what is funny and what isn't. I think this might have been a little too far as far as the satire goes.
If it's gone too far, I guess the question is, how do you draw the line? I mean, what's the standard that people should draw with satire? Satire's been around for a long time.
Of course.
Usually they have the, you know, that bad taste level as well. If it puts somebody in harm's way, if it puts the nation in harm's way. This one, if that's the grading you're going to have on satire, I think this one certainly did cross the line.
Right. Well, you know, once again, it's uncharted territories. And I think another point is, you know, most candidates in previous years have had something about them that's been generally funny. You know, Al Gore, a lot of people made fun of him because he almost talked like a robot. And John Kerry was very cartoonish with the chin and the Botox forehead. With Senator Obama, and a lot of comedians have admitted this as well, including Jon Stewart, there's nothing really funny about him. I mean, you know, Jon Stewart, his take on this is he's trying to say that Senator Obama is running so he can one day have himself on a coin. So, I mean, that in itself tells you, well, you know, there's not too much already to poke fun at this guy about.
You say that already, but there's fake money with Obama wearing a turban.
Right.
Already printed, a $3 bill. Elena from Edwardsville is on the line. Let's hear what you have to say about all this.
Well, I have to say that we come from a country that our parties are represented by an elephant and a donkey. So if we can't make fun of ourselves like that, I mean, a little humor won't kill anybody.
This New Yorker cover, did you find it humorous, or did this cross a line for you?
It's a little too much, but, I mean, I've seen worse.
You've seen worse? Politically?
Yes.
Name it.
Politically, yes.
I want to hear this one.
Well, all right, how about this? One of the earliest ones was the President, George Washington, riding a donkey, and on the bottom there's a curse word, going to see the, you know.
All right. I don't want her to say the curse word. I want to encourage
right,
that.
no, of
but
course.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm familiar with the one that she's talking about.
No, I'm not familiar with it either. I mean, I don't think we've seen something that's crazy. Again, once again, it's really uncharted territories because somebody of Senator Obama's stature and of color has never been in this position before. And I think, again, it's not so much that we can't laugh at ourselves, but it's the source of the comedy. You know, again, it goes back to, you know, some people, especially on the right, perceived it as satire because they're depicting Senator Obama as a Muslim.
Well, how will
people on
it be
the left
treated in the international community with the internet? We'll talk about that when we come back. We do have to take a break, but first, here's more of what you had to say about our 6 and 7 topic. That was on the separation of church and state.